this transmittal meeting started. You there? Let the record show we started about 6:02 p.m. Go, George.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners, and good evening. This is our transmittal hearing for the 2008-1 cycle of comprehensive plan amendments. I wanted to just introduce a little bit how the flow of the meeting will go. We had talked at the last one about voting procedures. The city and county legal have been talking, and they'll bring something back to you April 10th. We have our adoption hearing regarding voting procedures. Therefore, tonight we'll just proceed as we always have in the past. City and county both will have the opportunity to vote on each of the items. Artie White, our comprehensive planning division manager, will walk you through each of the amendments because you have city and county different agendas. We have a paper one in front of you that combines everything so that you can, that's probably the simplest thing to do is to follow along that, although it should also be correspondent to the order in your electronic format as well. So with that, we will have, again, when the comp plan amendments themselves, there'll be opportunity for both jurisdictions to vote. They will be implementing ordinances, which are city or county specific. So Artie will introduce those as we go through. With that, I'll hand it over to him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, good evening. We'll kind of jump right into it. Tonight we'll have the adoption of the small-scale amendments. Those are map amendments that are 10 acres or fewer. Those will not come back on the April 10th meeting. Those will be, the adoption hearing for that will be tonight. We'll make the April 10th meeting a little bit faster, actually. Following the adoption of the small-scale amendments, we'll move to the transmittal of the large-scale amendments, anything greater than 10 acres. Those have to be transmitted to the state planning agency, Department of Economic Opportunity. They have 30 days to review before we can come back with the adoption of those. So a slightly different process for those. We'll then do the transmittal of the text amendments, much like the large-scale map amendments. Those will be transmitted to the State Land Planning Agency before coming back on April 10th. For the small-scale amendments, the adoption hearings for tonight, they'll have the rezoning ordinances for those to implement those. And then have a very quick status update on the land use element update. So it's kind of the agenda tonight, and we can jump right into it. As you can see from the schedule, we have our meeting tonight. Then the next meeting will be April 10th. Yeah.
What the heck?
All right.
What does that mean?
I don't know how I did that, but
it's just a thing we do over here.
That's kind of cool.
It's a great segue, wasn't it?
quick background information.
Just real quick, Mr. Mayor, can we do that over at our place? That was cool.
It's a cool county thing.
Actually, you hear that when your thoughts are trending toward pure, then those sounds occur.
Just quick background information. When we evaluate comprehensive plan amendments, we look at three things. The first is it consistent with the goals, objectives, and policies of the comprehensive plan? If it's a map amendment, we look to see if it actually furthers the intent of the land use that's being proposed. And finally, for map amendments, we look to make sure that it's consistent with the zoning district that's being proposed. So jumping into the small-scale map amendments, the first one is Parkway Place. This is within the city limits. It's located off of Appalachia Parkway near Albritton and Victory Garden. This was privately initiated by the owner of the property. This is really kind of a map cleanup. It was originally zoned commercial. The shopping center was built in '85. Over the years, residential preservation, zoning, and land use were kind of put onto the property. It's always been a shopping center, and so the intent of this would for the entire shopping center to be a commercial parkway, so they can rent out a unit within the shopping center that somehow is still classified as residential preservation, meaning that they can't have a commercial tenant in it. So that would fix this. There were no public comments received on this item as we were going through the process. Our recommendation as staff was to approve the amendment. The local planning agency concurred with our recommendation for this. and I would be happy to answer any questions that y'all may have on this. And I believe we have one speaker.
All right, we'll take the speaker. Name and address for the record, please, sir.
Good evening, Commissioners. Wade Pitt, Novia Consulting Group. I'm here on behalf of the Partway Partners. I'm here for questions more than anything else, and would encourage you to take your staff's recommendation and the recommendation of the LPA and find this consistent.
Thank you, sir. I guess this is a city amendment. Mr. Mayor, you want to take the city vote first?
That's fine. Is it the case that we're both voting?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Commissioners, is there a motion?
So moved. Second.
There's a motion to approve staff recommendation. All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Is there a vote of county?
So moved.
Motion been made by Commissioner Daly, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All those in favor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
There he is.
The next amendment is the Petro South. This is a gas station located at the intersection of Jackson Bluff and Mayberry. It is a small-scale amendment, less than 1 acre, actually. It was initiated by the owner of the gas station. Much like the previous amendment, this is kind of a map cleanup. The site was originally commercial. It had a convenience store and gas station built in '87. Then over time, there was a process where we had a mixed-use land use category. That was then changed to suburban and some other residential categories. Through that process, the site was designated residential, but it's always been a gas station. The purpose of this amendment would be to identify it as a commercial property, as it kind of was before.
Move approve on behalf of the city.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Are there any speakers?
There are no speakers on this item.
All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. I'm sorry, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Can I vote?
Question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
You said this is over on, where's this located?
This is at the intersection of Mayberry and Jackson Bluff.
So we're moving, is this from urban residential to suburban?
Yes, sir.
So how does that urban area change to a suburban area? It looked like the suburban area ought to be changing to and graduating up to a urban area. I'm confused.
Unfortunately, the land use category is kind of a misnomer. It's not really intended to convey whether a property is urban or suburban. It just happens to be the name of the land use category. So it would be no less urban than it is today. It just happens to be the name of the land use category. Something we may be able to remedy during the land use element update, actually.
Anything else, Commissioner Proctor?
That's still confusing when the language does not properly label or convey what it says. So, government, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Dozier makes a motion for acceptance.
Second.
Approved by, or seconded by Commissioner Lindley. All those in favor of the motion to approve on the floor, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
The next amendment is located at the intersection of Roberts and Eisenhower. This is an amendment that was initiated publicly, so it was initiated by the City Commission. It's a small scale, it's 1.79 acres, and this would take the property from educational facilities and open space to government operations consistent with Florida State University acquiring the property to build a healthcare center.
Move approval for the city.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the item. Any speakers?
There are no speakers on this item.
All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Move the item.
Second.
County?
Motion been made by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Daly. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
And the last small-scale amendment we have is actually located in unincorporated Leon County. It was privately initiated by the property owner. It's a small scale, 3.8 acres in size. It would take certain parcels here on the map from urban fringe to suburban, consistent with everything that's around it, and there would be a concurrent rezoning to light industrial, which is the same zoning district as everything else around it.
Motion from the county.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made by Commissioner Daly, seconded by Commissioner Lindley. Commissioner Dozier, you have the floor.
Quick question, Artie. The remaining portion that's in urban fringe, I couldn't remember if we talked about that at the last meeting or not. Could you just refresh my memory? I'm sorry, that's when staff expanded it to the expansion area. Thank you. I thought we had addressed that. I just was looking to throw in a map.
There'll be no more urban fringe.
Chairman, what does that mean, approved with expansion area? What is an expansion area? What do that mean?
Staff?
There are a few slivers of parcels, kind of remnants that were urban fringe outside of what the applicant had requested, and we didn't want to leave just the slivers of urban fringe. I think it would be like 1/10 of an acre total. And so in order for everything to be one land use and one zoning category, we recommended including everything and not just what the applicant had requested.
Okay, thank you.
So, this is approved as modified as a motion made by Commissioner Daly, seconded by Commissioner Lindley. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Is there a motion from the city?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve staff recommendation. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
We have a city ordinance and a county ordinance respectively that would formally adopt the amendments that we just went over. I'll read the title of the city ordinance. It's Ordinance 18-0-07, an ordinance of the City of Tallahassee adopting small-scale amendments to the 2030 Tallahassee-Leon County Comprehensive Plan, providing for severability and conflicts, and providing an effective date.
Move approval of our ordinance.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. All those in, any speakers?
No speakers.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Do we need to go on?
There's a separate county
Go ahead.
ordinance. So the title of the county ordinance is an ordinance of the Board of County Commissioners of Leon County, Florida, amending the 2030 Tallahassee-Leon County Comprehensive Plan, adopting an amendment to the future land use map, providing for applicability and effect, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for a copy to be on file with the Tallahassee-Leon County Planning Department, providing an effective date.
So moved. Second.
Motion approval made by, a staff recommendation made by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Dozier. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Excellent. All of the small scale amendments will move to the transmittal of the large scale. This would be the transmittal to send it to the state line pledging agency. The adoption would be on April 10th for each of these. So the first one is a large-scale amendment within the city limits. This is the Chabad House located off of Chapel Drive. The request is to take it from residential preservation to university transition. We'll also have a rezoning kind of near the end of the agenda. Actually, on April 10th, there would be a concurrent rezoning to take it from plan unit development in RP1 to university transition zoning district. Be happy to answer any questions you may have on this.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Commissioner Mannix.
Approximately 14 years ago, my wife and I sold a house to the Chabad, so I'm declaring a conflict out of an abundance of caution. I will not be voting on this matter.
Got it. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, is there a motion on the item or any speakers?
There were no speakers on this.
Right.
Motion so moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion
with y'all.
passes 4-0. Commissioner Mannix abstaining.
Mr. Chairman, I voted with the city commission because I've never voted with them. That's why I said aye. But, no.
So recorded.
Do you need a vote from the county?
If the county has an opportunity.
Yes.
Sort of an honorary thing, wasn't it?
Motion made by Commissioner Dozier for approval, seconded by Vice Chair Jackson. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
The next large-scale amendment is located in unincorporated Leon County. This one was publicly initiated. It would take the property from urban fringe to rural. There would also be on April 10th the concurrent rezoning from urban fringe to rural. This is approximately 2 miles outside of the urban service area. There's no urban infrastructure available to it. We did receive 2 comments from the public on this one, both supporting the amendment.
Where's it located?
This is located off of Mahan Drive on the far east side of Tallahassee. It was formerly known as the Miley Myers property.
It's outside of District 1.
Well, you know, you go into Jefferson County, then you come back into Leon County, then you go back in Jefferson
It's a
County.
little bit east of Shears Crossroads, about maybe half a mile.
Okay.
Is this owned by the Rockaway Development or no?
This would be near that property, but not
This
owned
is
by the
owned by
Rockaway.
them.
Oh, across the street.
We don't vote on it.
Is there a motion from the county?
You just
What is the, I mean,
Motion for approval has been made by Commissioner Dozier. Is there a second? Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Daly.
question, Herb, in terms of urban fringe to rural, in the climate of urbanization of North Florida, we're definitely trending in the opposite direction. Are there other, and what does the state about the other remaining urban fringe? Should all of that be declared rural, since much of it has the same characteristics?
At this time, we were only looking at this one specific property. The reason for that was there was actually a development agreement on the property that was signed in March of 2007. And as part of that development agreement, there was a stipulation in it that said that if development did not occur within 10 years, that a comp plan amendment would be initiated to revert it back to rural. So the reason for this is the stipulation within the development agreement, but it only applies to this property, but not any other urban fringe.
It's unique, is the
Okay, so we are compelled as a governmental body to honor the private.
We agreed to do that.
We did. Oh, we did. We were a party to the agreement. Okay, gotcha. Thank you, Mr.
Motion made by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by Commissioner Daly. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Is there a motion on the city side?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve staff recommendation. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
The next large-scale amendment, also located in unincorporated Leon County. This one was privately initiated by an agent for the property. It is approximately 30 acres in size, located between Capitol Circle Southeast, Orange Avenue, and South Blairstone Road. The intent of this would be to allow the property to be developed for an office complex. And I believe we may have one speaker on this item. We do have one speaker on this item.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ricardo Hernandez. I'm representing the owner in this property. We are participating right now in 3 ITN with different agencies here in Tallahassee, and this property we would like to develop as an office complex. Any questions?
What street is this on, sir?
Sorry?
What street is this located on?
It's in Orange Avenue, close to the VA hospital.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
It's near where the Burger King used to be in.
Kind of behind the new VA clinic.
Yeah.
Yep.
The new VA clinic out at Orange Avenue in Blairstone. It's behind that.
Those woods were they clearing off right now? They already clearing
Near that.
That's an apartment complex. It's
Yes.
near there, though.
It's behind the new apartment complex.
Okay, we're good.
Thank you, sir. Motion for the county?
I so moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Lindley. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Daly. Commissioner Dozier.
Just a quick question. We are going to resolve, I know this is just transmittal, but all of the ingress-egress issues that we addressed at last meeting.
That's
all
correct.
that still-
There's actually a letter you have in
Yes.
front of you that acknowledges that
Right.
very specific issue.
Yeah, I thought it had moved forward since our last discussion, so thank you for that. But you all are feeling confident about this.
Yes, Commissioner, and we have been communicating regularly with DSM to ensure that they're kept up to date with that.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner, I'm sorry, I have no more commissioners in queue to speak. Motion made by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Daly. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Mr. Mayor?
Is there a motion on behalf of the city?
So moved.
There's a motion and a second. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. We also have some text amendments to transmit as well. The first one is the research and innovation and the industry and mining land use categories. This would be a text amendment to the land use element. It would create 2 new land use categories. The first one would be research and innovation. This would address basically things like innovation districts, advanced manufacturing, any kind of facilities related to laboratories for physical and life sciences. The second land use category would address industry and mining, so that would be anything that's light industrial, heavy industrial, or a mining use. And these are two separate land use categories.
Move acceptance for the city.
Second.
There's a motion and a second on behalf of the city. All in favor, let it be, any speakers?
There are no speakers on this item.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Motion for the county.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by Vice Chair Jackson. All in favor
Chairman,
of the
I
motion?
want to ask a question.
Make the motion.
Do we have like anything that bars or prohibits fracking in our community? Does this zoning determine where fracking can occur?
No.
What determines fracking or not fracking, to frack or not to frack?
That is the question.
It's not a permissible use in any zoning category that we currently have. So the answer would be it can't go anywhere. It is also specifically prohibited in rural.
And that's in the
rule.
I was waiting.
And Commissioners, the language does
I'll accept that.
All
we do
right,
specifically
all right.
address that in the language that's proposed.
Okay.
Okay. Motion made by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by Vice Chair Jackson. All those in favor of the motion will indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. The final text amendment is the regional mobility plan maps. This is a standard thing we do every 5 years with the adoption of a new regional mobility plan. We take the old maps out and put the new maps in. So we're recommending approval.
Second.
There's a motion for the city to approve in a second. No speakers?
There are no speakers.
All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Can you vote?
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Daly, seconded by Vice Chair Jackson. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
At this point, we have a few rezonings that would implement the small-scale amendments that were adopted earlier. The first one would implement the Parkway Place. I'll read the title of the ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Tallahassee, Florida, designating and including additional territory as an in-commercial parkway on the official zoning map of the City of Tallahassee, adopted and established by the City Commission, providing for conflict and severability and providing an effective date. So there are no speakers on this item.
Is there a motion? There's a motion and a second from the city. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
The next ordinance is 18-Z-03. This would implement the Petro South, the gas station amendment that was adopted momentarily ago. I'll read the title of the ordinance.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Are there any speakers?
There are no speakers.
Right. All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously. And this is the first of two, the next item?
That's correct. The next item is the first of two, and I'll read the title of the ordinance into the record. This would be an ordinance of the City of Tallahassee, Florida, designating and including additional territory as an in-government operational 1, GO1, on the official zoning map of the City of Tallahassee, adopted and established by the City Commission, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing an effective date.
Any speakers?
There are no speakers on this. Staff recommendation is to hold the first of two hearings. The next one is a Leon County ordinance. This would implement the one with the urban fringe, the Capitol Circle and Tram Road. I'll read the title of the ordinance into the record. This would be an ordinance amending Leon County Ordinance Number 92-11 to provide for a change in zoning classification from the urban fringe zoning district to the light industrial zoning district in Leon County, Florida, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, and providing an effective date. There are no speakers on this item.
What's the catalyst for this change?
This was the map amendment to change the land use category from urban fringe to suburban. To implement that, it would be changing the zoning from urban fringe to M1 light industrial. and the property owner requested this.
For what use? Because that's not consistent with what's going on. That's over where the state government, the new, what that thing called, the government complex out there, and it's right on the corner. I can't see that corner being industrial. So what do they want to do?
The site is currently, all the surrounding
Southwood,
parcels
that's
are
the word.
currently light industrial. It's adjacent to the Southwood plan unit development, and that part of the PUD is identified for light industrial.
Was Southwood noticed? Did Southwood make a comment? Are they aware of this industrial piece of property by the property?
We've received no comments, and we did the standard notifications and mailed out the mailings. Yes, Commissioner.
Motion on the floor has been made probably. Is there a motion?
Move, yeah.
Thank you. Second. Motion made by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by Commissioner Jackson. All those in favor of the motion, floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion
Aye.
carries 7-0. 6-1. Commissioner Proctor, dissent.
And this was item number 19 on the county's agenda. And the final thing we have tonight is a quick status report on the land use element update. When I was here previously, we talked about the public involvement and provided a summary of the input that we received both through the survey and through the workshops that we held for the land use element update. In your packets, you were provided with a copy of the goals. We have 5 of them: a healthy community, a robust economy, places where people want to live, work, and play, greater housing diversity, and a balanced transportation network. These are the broad goals that we would use basically as a framework moving forward to develop very specific objectives and policies. So the next step is actually going back out to the community, getting more public involvement so we can formulate those objectives and policies, and then bring the objectives and policies back to you as well. But I'd be happy to answer any questions you have on the draft goals.
Any questions? Seeing none. I'm sorry, Commissioner Dozier.
I'm not waving. I had nothing.
I can't see your hand.
Thank you. Artie, I think I heard from some folks who've been involved in this from the public side that they may have thought some policy recommendations were going to come back in the FY19 comp plan cycle, or you may have mentioned that last time. So do you anticipate all of these steps being done before we initiate that cycle next fall? Is that right?
That is our somewhat ambitious, but I think accomplishable goal.
Okay.
Yes, Commissioner.
And you just mentioned, in response to Commissioner Proctor's comment, that the names of the different categories, that might be something that could be addressed. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. The only thing on here, I mean, you just mentioned it would come back to us for discussion. Number 3 is workshopping the draft objectives with the local planning agency. I think Commissioner Miller and myself were the only 2 who really wanted to dig into this a little bit more, maybe a year, 2 years ago. But I'm going to take one more stab at it, that I would love to see some early information on this. I think once it really gets through local planning and everything else, it might feel more robust, like it's locked in a little bit more, and it might be helpful to get a status update before each commission, or at least a discussion, and to see where you all are going, maybe early summer or something like that, depending on staff's work plan. I'm not sure if others have the same interest, but this is a really big overhaul, and if we just start to see these things come up right before we're asked to vote on it, I'm kind of wondering about the larger conversation and the feedback we may get, and the timing there and everything. So I just wanted to offer that as a suggestion if anyone else wanted an update prior to that. But I'm not sure how that times out with your involvement with Planning Commission and others.
Commissioner Miller?
That was my question. It says here that you have next steps, and your last step is workshopping of draft objectives and policies with the LPA, but there's not a workshopping type environment for the commissions. So what is your plan on? I mean, I'm totally on board with what Commissioner Dozier expressed, and I want to see this and hear discussion on it. So how do you think we could accomplish that?
Yes, Commissioners. Those are just the immediate next steps, but if we were to look even further down the road following the public involvement and the workshopping, we would do workshopping with both the City Commission and the Board of County Commissioners. So I didn't mean to leave that off. I was just showing the very next immediate steps. So,
Okay.
but definitely providing status reports and doing some workshopping with these bodies.
Mr. Chair?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner. I think it'd be helpful to kind of know, since it could happen before next fall, know when that might come back and to look at that timing once you start looking at the process with more public outreach.
Right.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And our recommendation tonight was just the acceptance of the status report.
Move acceptance, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Joint or separate? The city has a motion and a second to accept the report, status report. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion passes unanimously.
Second. This has been moved by Commissioner Dozier, seconded by Commissioner Daly. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Aye. Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you, Commissioners. That's all I had tonight.
Thank you. We're adjourned.
And we're going back to session.
You want to sit back up?
Yeah. All right, Commissioners, all we got left is commission discussion time. While our Commissioners on the way back to their seats, I'll go ahead and start with Mr. Attorney.
Mr. Chairman, I have one item to bring up this evening. You received a memo from me on the 22nd with regard to a mediated settlement agreement that was reached in a case in which we are a party defendant, Sunshine Car Care versus Capstone Properties. We did mediation about a week ago and reached an agreement with all of the parties. And if you'd like me to describe the content, I will, but the bottom line is we are going to be done with this litigation if you ratify the settlement agreement.
Is there a motion to ratify? Motion to ratify has been made by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Daly. All those in favor, I'm sorry, anybody want to speak? All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.
That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Administrator.
I have nothing, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Lindley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I'm very hopeful that I can get a full board agreement to bring back an agenda item giving the county the opportunity to close the gun show loophole requiring background checks for people who purchase weapons at gun shows. This is the one area that counties are permitted to tackle when it comes to some management of gun purchases. We know there are 3 other counties that are doing this time of the 67, and I would like Leon County to be a part of that. So I think the first step is an agenda item. As soon as the staff can pull something together for our consideration. So that's my motion.
There is a strong second.
Motion been made, probably saying I got Commissioner, I'm sorry, no speakers in queue to speak. Commissioner Daly?
Yeah. It was very apparent the other night when we were at the Town Hall Forum, WFSU in the Village Square. This is the first question that came up. We all kind of looked at each other. Everybody was unanimously in favor, and quite frankly, I am glad that we are readdressing this. It's been, 5 years, I believe,
It was
Commissioner
2013.
2013. I appreciate your leadership on this. I strongly am in favor of this proposal, and I look forward to coming back.
Motion been made by Commissioner Lindley, seconded by Commissioner Daly to bring up, to have an agenda item discussing the gun show loophole, as we call it, as we describe it.
Universal background check.
Yes. What he said. All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0. Commissioner Lindley.
Thank you so much. That's it.
Commissioner Dozier.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since I was next in line, I thought I'd say my comments, and Commissioner Daly, I was going to say the same thing. Really appreciated the discussion we had at the Village Square Town Hall events. And in talking to the county administrator during briefing, I also wanted to say that I'm glad staff has already started looking at this. So I'm very glad that we have a motion, full board, approval to move this forward to an agenda item. But I think that staff saw this as well and knew this was an issue that needs to come back to us. So appreciate that. I did also want to say, just in relation to that, this community really did a remarkable job turning out in support of the students from Marjorie Stone Douglas High School when they came up. It was a remarkable rally to attend. But I also had a conversation with the sheriff and noted the incredible coordination and from our state partners, but our local law enforcement. That was a big crowd. There was a lot going on, and I think they did a great job. Everyone did throughout the day and throughout the week. There's been a lot of activity. So just wanted to extend that thank you to our law enforcement partners. And finally, the Village Square Town Hall in general. I've heard from a lot of different people in the last week, and particularly that night, that they appreciated the deep dive we did on a lot of issues. It's not often that we just get to have that wide-ranging discussion, and timely, there's the picture. It was unique to be at WFSU, but appreciated being there with all of you and our commitment to Village Square and to the civil discourse we're having. So I had no other items, Mr. Chair. It's just been a remarkable time, and hope you all have a good few weeks. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Proctor.
Chairman, I was thinking when the city and the county was there, I wanted to ask, could we pass a comprehensive plan to bar and prohibit the sale of assault weapons in our community? And I didn't know if it was appropriate to do. I remember a few years ago, I attempted to hold a town hall meeting here in Chamber, and Lottie, Dottie, and everybody came out, and can't remember what we were trying to achieve, but there was so many people came out and was angry for my efforts and attempts to talk against guns, and it was kind of scary. So, I never talked about guns no more at this desk, but I think that what has been offered by Commissioner Lindley makes sense, and it certainly makes sense to me that we would also, if it's within our authority, to limit the, I think Commissioner Dozier mentioned the students who came up, their specific ask that they we're seeking goes to the presence of an availability that an 18, 19-year-old could purchase a automatic type weapon, assault weapon, and that if there's anything within our power, and if we really respected their ask, then we would seek to adhere to and respond with public policy that prohibited those weapons in our community, certainly not at the age of 18. So I would ask our council, are we prohibited from an attempt to change the age to 21 or even to prohibit these type of weapons on street level?
Mr. Attorney?
Unfortunately, the legislature has completely preempted the field of regulation of firearms, including what you have just talked about. So it's entirely in the legislature's world. So the answer is no, unfortunately.
Commissioner Prater?
This marks the Black History Month celebration, and I'm very, very pleased that a tribute to black cinematography of movies is being regarded, and to celebrate Black History Month and certainly the record-setting production of Black Panther is just an unbelievable, well-embraced worldwide picture with positives unlike any picture that I can ever remember. Such universal positives is quite a unique phenomenon. Prior to that movie being released and shown to the public, I had planned a party to celebrate its arrival. That is a first superhero movie lifting up African Americans, African people. And so tomorrow night, I didn't even know that this movie would have such phenomenal impact. And I had planned to celebrate it because I was looking at black cinematography, period, in totality. But invite you all to join me in the nation of Wakanda, which for purposes of tomorrow will be transformed from the moon on Lafayette Street, Wakanda. And the attire is Black Panther, correct. And purposes of this gathering, which is free 99 for admission price, is to seek your voluntary donations for the summer youth programs of the Tallahassee Housing Authority. And on a very serious note, to the fund side of this proposition, there have been cuts to programs that help children who are vulnerable, cuts to programs which helps the Tallahassee Housing Authority to provide structure, in particular in the summer, to kids who are most vulnerable and needy. And this is why Attorney Ben Crump and myself have, and Attorney Crump knows from his national experience, that if we don't have in our community programs that are set, monies made available for vulnerable kids, that the invitations of the street oftentimes will not be ignored by these kids. So our effort tomorrow night is to hopefully have a significant impact and contribution from the community, that the Tallahassee Housing Authority's summer youth programs will be in good shape. That being said, I thank you very much. This was a wonderful meeting. I enjoyed it so much, and look forward to seeing you guys in a colder climate this weekend.
Thank you, Commissioner Prater. Vice Chair Jackson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I do want to, again, I don't want to belabor the point, but the initiative for the Children's Council and the work that it represents. I'm excited about seeing what the other counties do. I'm excited about seeing what we can do here locally. And again, closing gaps that occur prior to the child ever even starting school. Those are things that we face daily as educators, but also we face them in our neighborhoods and in our families and our churches. Lastly, when deemed appropriate by the family, I would like to suggest a proclamation that recognizes Jane Sauls' 50-plus years of public service. I have not had a chance to talk to them about when that would be appropriate, but I would like to make a motion to have a proclamation that recognizes her 50 years of service.
Without objection? Without objection? Yes.
Mr. Vice Chair, thank you very much. I think everything's been moving so fast in the last couple weeks. We've had some great losses in our community, and I really, this is the right time to say how much we miss Commissioner Sauls, and I know it's a loss for her family, and I think she'd be proud of your leadership for District 2. I welcome that proclamation, and with that, I will also use the moment to say Gerald Inslee was a great loss, and Commissioner Lindley, I did not make it to the celebration on Saturday, but your comments were noted by many. So this has been a rough week for a lot of people in our community, but I think honoring both of them would be wonderful, and Commissioner Sauls had a long, long tenure here, and her legacy will be felt for a long time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vice Chair. Commissioner Daly.
Today was a great day. We got a lot of amazing things moving forward. The first steps of Children's Services Council, moving forward with our proposed charter amendment language, major contracts, taking the first bold steps of closing the loophole with universal background checks. Proud to be a member of the Leon County Commission. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Deloge.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Just fine.
I appreciate you guys letting me call in. A couple quick things, and thanks for your patience. I've been accepted to a program at Harvard. It's a state and local exec program. I've applied. I've looked at it for the last couple of years. Our administrator went through it, and I'd like to ask if the county would be willing to treat this as a line item for my tuition. It'd be outside of my office budget just because it would be education, but I'd respectfully put that forward if that's okay.
Mr. Chairman, I put that in a motion because I applied to Harvard and I couldn't get in, so Deloge is in Harvard. I think we should support that. So that's a,
there's a second to the motion.
No, we should have some.
Vice Chair.
Going there.
Is this open-ended or what? I mean, what are we talking about?
How many years is it going to take to come out, Deloge?
What are we going to get in return?
It's a single program you go to, yeah. It's a tuition, 2-week program. That's it, yeah.
All right.
All right, we'll miss you, okay.
Provided you make
Any
all
discussion
fees,
on the item?
we'll pay this.
All those in favor of the motion on the floor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. And then secondly, last year we did the Over the Edge thing with my esteemed partner, Chris Busher, who informed me on the way up that she had a little bit of a height issue before she rappelled off the DoubleTree. And you did a great job. You got through it without a hitch. So they're doing it again this year in line with the recidivism and some of the criminal justice issues. I'd like to see if we could agenda an item to discuss whether or not we want to support it again this year as well. So I'm just asking that we put it on the agenda, bring it back for discussion with the details on it.
Any objection? Motion carries. Commissioner Dozier.
Mr. Chair, since Commissioner Deloge brought this up, I will say that as someone who has climbed Denali and other things, I could not have asked for a better partner going over the edge, and I encourage everyone else to try this. It was quite the experience and for a great cause, so thank you for bringing it up, Commissioner Deloge, and I hope we can do it again.
In the spirit of
a rock star.
In the spirit of what Commissioner Deloge said that they're honoring this year, I feel like we should nominate Commissioner Proctor to go over. As he is our P.
Where I'm going? Where you nominated me to go?
Oh, nothing. Don't worry about it. Good, man. We'll fill you in later.
I'm willing to go to North Korea.
You are a PSCC chair, and I feel like since they're celebrating trying to reduce recidivism, I feel like you'd be the proper person.
Well, if that means I'm going to North Korea with Dennis Rodman, I'm for it.
Commissioner Lowe, you got anything else? I take that as a no. Very good meeting today. I feel like we got a lot accomplished. You guys pushed me hard today. But you know what? I feel like we got through it and we got a lot accomplished. Commissioner Daly, I couldn't agree more with your comments and everything we put on the table. It's amazing. Just how much we did today and how much we moved Leon County forward today. And so that being said, we're adjourned.